Coming up on Channel 8 News, the two schools at K-State received sizable donations.
The KSU Wildcraft Gaming Club is gearing up for its next tournament. Steak lovers are paying more for their T-bones. And could your classmates be allowed to carry guns at K-State?
I'm live here at Bill Snyder Family Stadium, where it'll be baseball, tennis, rowing, and football on sports.
This is Channel 8 News, KKSU LP. For Manhattan and Raleigh County. From Kansas State University, this is Channel 8 News.
Welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Alex Ayton.
And I'm Lance Leonard. Before we dive into the show, let's go outside with Morgan Hulsman for a look at the weather.
Well, guys, we did have quite a few nice days there for a while, but Mother Nature is coming back with lots of April showers. It is raining right now, and there's quite a bit of rain in the forecast, and even some thunderstorms. We do have the weather forecast for our spring football game coming up next, so stay tuned.
Thanks for that update, Morgan. We'll hear back from you in a bit.
Channel 8 has been following the Kansas Board of Regents' social media policies, which have been restricted what educators can and can't say on the sites like Facebook and Twitter. Reporter Shauna Smith is here with an update.
Thanks, Lance. The Board of Regents met last week in Topeka. However, the meeting seemed more like a report card at times for the work group rather than a hearing of the proposal.
I just can't help but think that if any professor in this room gave an assignment to the class came back and the student came back and did something completely different, the grade would not be very good.
A failing grade was handed to the state universities in Kansas.
I've got just a real fundamental question, and it's actually a real fundamental problem.
Tim Emmerich of the Kansas Board of Regents grilled the work group that was in charge to make recommendations about the new social media policy. The work group handed the Kansas Board of Regents on April 16th their proposal, and it was not accepted well.
I understood the charge to be take our policy, tell us what's wrong with it, and make corrections to it. This train got off the tracks.
Several faculty members from all the universities were in attendance for the work group's presentation.
Surprised that the questioning seemed as aggressive as it was, and that I think in some cases was disrespectful.
The work group's proposed adjustments and recommendations on the social media policy fell on deaf ears.
I don't know how much listening there was. The work group pointed out in several ways in which this kind of rule would not pass constitutional muster.
Mr. Emmerich insists that professors should not be concerned.
Well, see, I think the fear is misguided. These are not crackpot people off the street that are going to judge what some professor is. Or this doesn't just apply, we keep focusing on professors, but it also applies to anybody that's employed by the university.
Before leaving, the board agreed to incorporate some of the wording proposed by the work group, but the policy still stands.
So Shannon, will these be the last changes that we see to the social media policy?
Well, Alex, the work group was officially dismissed by the board, so they are not able to make any further recommendations as of right now.
Sounds like this is still far from over.
I think they are just all agreeing to disagree at this point. To get an outside opinion, Channel 8 reached out to Washburn University, a private institution that isn't subject to this social media policy by the Board of Regents. Bill Rich is a law professor at Washburn and expects the policy will not hold up in court.
But I would expect that the court would have real hesitation agreeing with this set of policies, particularly in an educational context.
At this time, the policy is yet to be legally challenged.
Thanks for the update, Shanna. And be sure to keep us up to date on the progress of that story.
An unknown suspect robbed the local Dollar General store on April 16th. Raleigh County Police released these pictures of the suspect, described as a 6-foot black male. He is considered armed and dangerous. Police recommend citizens do not contact the suspect directly. If you have any information regarding this crime, RCPD encourages you to contact them through the Manhattan-Raleigh County Crime Stoppers at 785-539-7777 or www.manhattanraleigh-county-crimestoppers.com.
Robberies like this one are a reminder of the issue of gun violence and safety. Gun policy has become a priority since the December 2012 shooting in Newtown, Connecticut.
Discussions have been contentious as states have had different directions with their prescriptions for gun control.
Last year, Kansas passed a law designed to expand concealed carry laws in government buildings. Channel 8 reporter Jason Beats explains how this law impacts K-State.
That's right, guys. As you know, there are signs like these posted all around the university. They show that guns are not allowed on campus. But a 2013 law passed by the Kansas legislature has them reassessing that policy. Every student passes through many doors on campus every day. They often don't pay attention to the signs on the doors. But this sign is one they might want to read. A 2013 Kansas law requires public buildings to either allow concealed carry or add security measures. Adding metal detectors and armed guards could be very expensive for Kansas State University. The university is currently under a 4-year exemption from the law. The exemption runs out in the summer of 2017. Nick Strecker, a K-State student and college Republican, supports the law and concealed carry.
I think that's a great thing because the underlying message behind that bill is that they want the protection of innocent people. Say if there were to be a shooting in a public building or an attempt for a public shooting, someone that is responsible and licensed to carry a weapon could prevent that from happening, thus saving several lives.
K-State Vice President Jeffrey Morris says that K-State is currently leaning toward adding security measures.
Our preference would be that we do not allow to have weapons on campus. The challenge with that, as you might guess, is you either have to restrict access or establish metal detectors to every building and every entrance on campus.
But can the university afford it?
It would obviously cost millions of dollars to do that, which we have not been allocated or have in the budget.
Morris says that K-State is currently doing an audit to determine how many entrances there are to all the buildings on campus. For Channel 8 News, I'm Jason Beats.
There are over 100 buildings on K-State's main campus. If each building has multiple public entrances, that would mean hundreds of metal detectors the university would have to buy, install, and use.
That could put a huge financial burden on the university.
Coming up, a look at the weather with Morgan Hulsman and sports with Nick Wall.
But when we come back, find out the latest unemployment numbers in our area. All next on Channel 8 News.
I like K-State mainly for the family atmosphere.
Once you're here, you're greeted with a smiling face. You could step onto K-State's campus and feel that without even talking to anyone, that it's welcoming.
The administrators and faculty, they remember your name.
Anywhere you go, someone's there to help you and to smile at you.
Half of campus is going to be wearing purple, and you know that there's that K-State pride.
It's really evident that you can do something and you can be somebody and you can really define yourself here.
I'm a part of the campus.
K-State to me is home.
And that kind of gives me a sense of place.
A Wildcat legacy from generation to generation.
Where my grandfather went to school.
Where my mother went to school.
It's a legacy scholarship program started by the K-State Alumni Association, specifically for the children and grandchildren of K-State alumni. When you buy a K-State license plate, you fund legacy scholarships.
Show your purple pride and be a part of the Wildcat legacy.
K-State Student Radio brings every game to K-State fans on the Wildcat 91.9.
Line's going to take a pitch out to the right. Hubert dices his way up and into the end zone for the Wildcat touchdown. Takes the snap. He's going to roll out. He's going to throw deep over the middle of the field for Tyler Lockett. Catches it. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Kansas State.
For all of your K-State sports coverage, tune into the Wildcat 91.9.
Welcome back. I'm Lance Leonard.
And I'm Alex Ayton. You're tuned in to Channel 8 News, Manhattan and Raleigh County's only local television newscast. Have you been to the supermarket lately?
Yeah, I have. And I gotta say, the price of a good T-bone has really gone up.
Beef prices have been rising steadily over the past year. We sent Channel 8 reporter Ryan Falk to find out why and to see if the trend will continue.
Yeah, guys, beef prices have been high lately.
With the drought we've had and high corn prices, the market for beef has been impacted. The price for feeder steers is on the rise. Meat lovers have been finding a whopper of a price tag on their beef lately. This rise, which has been going on for a year, has affected the way those who work with livestock do business. This is an average day for the Atchison County Livestock Auction Company, owned and managed by Ron and Steve Estes, and the prices are still rising.
Supply and demand.
Farmers have said that $8 a bushel for corn has led to smaller beef herds. If it becomes too expensive to feed their cattle, farmers may choose to grow corn instead. With fewer cattle, the price will go up.
A record price of fat cattle. Now it's cattle that's going to be going to process. It's going to be used to the supplier or for the consumer, around $1.50, and that's a record price.
Yeah, I think they got to 152.
I think they might have been 152 or 3 maybe, but
yeah.
It might have been extreme high.
This rise of beef prices has in turn had an effect on business for the Estes brothers.
It's slow. I mean, it's a lot smaller. The numbers are a lot smaller now than they used to be.
And you've got the prices considerably higher though. Record prices for everything, for every weight and every class of livestock.
And Ron and Steve don't see this trend in prices ending soon.
You're going to see at least 2 more years
of
these
because
prices.
You can't replace the herd that fast. You know, it takes 2 to 3 years for the safe heifers back, and they'll have calves, and then it's just a process. It takes longer.
With the shift in their business, Ron and Steve now have to worry about keeping their company running, an auction business their grandfather founded in 1932.
Thanks, Ryan. We'll see if they can weather the storm.
I probably won't be buying as many steaks for a while.
While the rancher...
It may be that way for many people across the country.
While the ranchers are struggling, the workforce of Manhattan is on the upswing. Unemployment numbers are down in Manhattan and the surrounding area. According to statistics released by the Kansas Department of Labor, unemployment in Manhattan was at 4% in March, a tenth of the percent lower than it was in February. Manhattan also has the lowest unemployment in the area. Raleigh County unemployment for March was at 4%. Pottawatomie County, it was at 4.7%. Bulgaria County came at 6.8%. The national unemployment rate currently stands at 6.7% according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
A $2.5 million gift was made to the School of Leadership Studies. Mary Lynn and Warren Staley, 2 K-State graduates living in Colorado, made the donation to establish an endowed chair in their names. Mary Hale Toller, the Leadership School's director, will be the first recipient. Toller says this endowment will allow her to set into motion initiatives that will align the Leadership School with the K-State 2025 plan. And along with the School of Leadership, the Department of Military Science at K-State is also receiving a sizable donation. According to K-Man Radio, Lieutenant Colonel Albert E. Hilton III is donating over $629,000 to the department in order to establish a fund in his father's name. The gift will reportedly be invested by the school, with the interest being used to fund and develop programs for military cadets.
Champions, Magic Spells, and Dragons, KSU Wildcraft has it all. The eSport video gaming team and club is back in action later this month with the League of Legends Spring Tournament. Take Wildcraft. Official members on the team meet on Wednesday and Friday to practice out. Fridays to practice and hone their skills. Registration began earlier this month. The competition began April 24th. It's not basketball or soccer, but it's still an intense battle. The game features 2 teams of 5 that fight each other in a virtual world. One team gets into the enemy base and destroys the central hub. It wins the game. For Cody Baldwin, though, it's more than a competition. Nice.
Because we know what we have is different, but yet the same. Because it's not like real sports, but at the same time, you can cheer and have a favorite team and all that stuff, just like if it was a real sport.
And, oh, nice. Real nice header.
Kate is just one of 100 featuring. More information on the club can be found on the group's website at ksuwildcraft.com.
Coming up, we will head to Nick Wall, who's live at Bill Snyder Family Stadium.
But next, Morgan Hulsman will tell us whether it's sunny skies or cloudy days ahead here on Channel 8 News.
A baby elephant is trapped in a water hole. Researchers rush to the rescue, and a 400-pound baby elephant and its agitated, dangerous mother are finally reunited. One of those researchers is K-State alumnus Mark Sowers. While at K-State, he used telemetry to study bison on the Konza Prairie Biological Station, a skill he now uses to study and help elephants, his lifelong dream. That's the Wildcat Way.
Who is going to help safely feed 9 billion people in the year 2050? Who will design sustainable cities that can flourish? Who is going to shed light on dark matter and origins of the universe? Where will we teach the scientists who will engineer our future? At one of the world's top research universities, Kansas State University.
In 2005, a Kansas State aviation student volunteered to be a mechanic for the Global Flyer ground team in Salina, Kansas. Jim Reed's love of aviation and being a mechanic converged that day, and his career took flight. Employed by Virgin Galactic, he now helps build spaceships. Spaceships for those who want to see planet Earth like an astronaut. That's the Wildcat Way.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Alex Ayton.
And I'm Lance Leonard. Now we have Lisa Pullman from the Raleigh County Humane Society with us. Who do you have with us today?
This is Flopsy, and Flopsy is about 8 years old. She's a toy poodle, and she was found as a stray, and then ended up at the city shelter, which is not the same as the Humane Society, and then they called us after the 5-day hold, and she came to the Raleigh County Humane Society. So she's been groomed, she had a lot of mats and everything, and she's up for adoption, and we've had some good applications, so we won't have her for long. But talking about strays, so this is a time of year that, with students leaving, we are going to end up with a lot of animals that are abandoned, and I'm asking people to not abandon their animals either in their home or leave them in the street. Bad things can happen. Please contact the shelter or the Humane Society.
Do you guys get a lot of cases like that with animals that get abandoned and come?
Yes, the animals get abandoned in apartment buildings, and it's a problem because, of course, they aren't going to have food or water. So it is a form of cruelty, and you can be charged for doing that.
Okay, well, thank you. We appreciate you coming on.
Thanks.
Folks in Western Kansas are exploring the possibility of using an aqueduct to solve its water shortage problems. According to K-State's Mark Rood of South Kansas Groundwater Management said they are looking into funneling the unused runoff water from the Missouri River to fix the issue. The biggest problem is setting up the infrastructure to transport the water.
Yeah.
Talk about water storage, and if there's pain in the is there rain in the forecast?
Yeah, I was going to say there is an issue with the water, but we are getting a lot of water here in Manhattan, Morgan. Is that going to continue?
Yes, unfortunately, we did have some nice days there, but we do have quite a bit of rain coming, and it will be nice. The weather will be nice. Let's take a look outside really quick. See what the weather's like right now. It is awfully cloudy. We're still getting quite a bit of rain today, and there will be some more rain coming in tonight. Let's go ahead and see where that rain is coming from, though, our national weather map. The West Coast has quite a bit of nice temperatures. There are 60s, 50s. As you can see, also in the Midwest, we have our 70s and 80s, probably the driest right now. And then you come over to our East Coast, they have some 80s, of course, in Florida. But let's take a look to our fronts. You can see the cold fronts coming in over from the West Coast are coming straight to the Midwest. Also down to our East Coast, they're getting a lot of rain, but most of that is coming to the Midwest right now. Check out our weather across Kansas. Up in the northwest corner, we have 79 degrees. It's mostly 70s across the state of Kansas. Besides in good old Kansas City, they got about 60s, unfortunately, but in Manhattan, it's about 75. And we'll check out our 5-day weather forecast. So today, obviously, it's raining. We got rain throughout the week, and if you can take a look, see on Saturday, it's also raining for our spring football game that we have going on. And it will continue. We have quite a bit of severe thunderstorms coming on Sunday as well. So thanks, guys. Hopefully that rain will go away soon.
Thanks, Morgan. I'm always hopeful for a sunny weekend in Manhattan, and with only 4 weeks of school left, it's a nice change to get outside.
I can only agree with you, Alex. Coming up on Channel 8, Nick Wall takes us out to Bill Snyder Family Stadium. Stay tuned.
Class, study. Class, eat. Play, play, play. Study. Class, chill. Class, eat, study, play, study. Sometimes it seems there just aren't enough hours in the day at our 3 campuses, so you have to make every minute count, especially those precious first few. That's why Kansas State alum Herbert Diamond invented the snooze alarm, a dorm room fixture. Because even when you can't wait to get started, sometimes it's nice to wait to get started. Where there's a Wildcat, there's a way. Around here, school pride isn't just some slogan on a t-shirt. It's the spirit that comes from understanding we are stronger when we're together. That's the essence of K-State Proud, a nationally recognized student-led fundraising campaign. In just 6 years, K-State Proud has helped raise more than $500,000 to help students who need it most and appreciate it best. Think of it as Philanthropy 101. K-State Proud. It's just one more way the Kansas State family treats one another, well, like family. Where there's a Wildcat, there's a way.
Welcome back. Let's send it out live to Bill Snyder Family Stadium, where sports anchor Nick Wall will give us the latest on what's happening with the Wildcats.
It was just about as loaded as a spring weekend can get for K-State athletics. And with the spring football game on the horizon, things don't look to be letting up. The Wildcat baseball team wrapped up a 5-game homestand yesterday, splitting a pair of games with Cal State and Bakersfield, falling 5-2 on Monday before drubbing the Roadrunners 13-0 Tuesday night. It was the weekend series with Baylor, though, that got the Batcats clicking. K-State earned its first Big 12 series win of the season, taking 2 of 3 from the Bears. Senior All-America Ross candidate Ross Kivett led the way offensively. He went 6 for 12 in the series, and Kivett's 2-run single in the 6th inning of Game 1 gave the Cats their first lead of the game. Spartans did 5-run 6. Starter Levi Mamoris, who went 8 innings, allowing just 2 runs to earn the 8-2 win. Kivett blasted his 3rd home run of the season, solo shot during the 3rd inning of Game 2, but it was a 2 RBI infield hit by catcher Blair DeBoer that gave K-State the 6-4 win. The sweep attempt, though, was thwarted as Baylor freshman Daniel Pastrano pitched a sterling 8 innings, allowing just 1 K-State run as the Bears salvaged Game 3, 3-1. The Wildcats will now hit the road for 7 games over 2 weeks, and the Wildcats won't return home until they host Texas on May 9th. The K-State women's tennis team hosted Kansas Saturday in what was the final home performance for Wildcat senior Petra Niedermayerova. The 2-time All-American won this doubles match teamed with junior Amina St. Hill and a singles defeat of KU's Dylan Wyndham 6-1 to 6-0. K-State won the meet 6 matches to 1. Niedermayerova improved her career singles and doubles records to 133 and 42 and 74 and 49, both school records respectively. The Wildcats begin the Big 12 championships tomorrow against West Virginia in Fort Worth, Texas. And K-State rowing coach Patrick Sweeney's Wildcats were golden at the prestigious Sierra Championships in Oak Ridge, Tennessee over the weekend. All 6 K-State boats earned medals in the event, with 5 earning gold. Sweeney was pleased but unsurprised by the performance.
The team this year is probably the strongest team we've had since I've been here. Just in the results we're getting, obviously, are showing pretty good this year. Just the depth of the team as well, which is, we haven't had this much depth before.
Didn't hesitate to praise the benefits of the new intercollegiate rowing center on the K-State campus. And the Wildcats will head to Oklahoma City for the Big 12 Championship Saturday, May 3rd, before returning to Oak Ridge for the Conference USA Championships on May 17th. And, of course, this weekend, the building I'm standing in and the parking lot surrounding it will be packed with purple. It will be the public's first glimpses at new recruits, as well as some of the familiar faces like Jake Waters and Tyler Lockett, as K-State hosts its annual spring game Saturday at 1 p.m. Some of those returnees, such as quarterback Daniel Sams, may be playing in different roles for the Wildcats this season. Sams is getting both snaps at both behind center and at wide receiver this spring. I'm Nick Walker. Back to you guys.
Thanks for those updates, Nick. Stay tuned. We'll be right back for one last look at the weather.
It was a routine grain elevator inspection until the explosions began. Until a blast tossed him more than 300 feet. Then it became the event that changed Kevin Saunders forever. The body of this K-State alum was broken, but his spirit, well, that spirit not only survived, it thrived. Against all odds, Saunders transformed himself into the world's greatest wheelchair athlete, one of America's premier motivational speakers, and the first Paralympian appointed to the President's Council on Physical Fitness, Sport, and Nutrition. Where there's a Wildcat, there's a way. Nearly 150 years ago, the first native limestone was carved into the campus of Kansas State University. Since that time, K-State has known what it takes to rise to the challenge. Now, we're challenging ourselves to become a top 50 public research university by the year 2025. To reach that status, our research dollars, endowment, career award winners, and patents are growing to match our internationally recognized programs and research. K-State 2025 is more than a challenge, it's a commitment. A commitment we'll keep. Because where there's a Wildcat, there's a way.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News.
Before we say goodbye, let's take one last look outside with Morgan Hulsman for the weather. Morgan?
Hey guys, well the sun is finally starting to peek out of the clouds. We'll see what Mother Nature has in store for the rest of the day and for the rest of the week.
And Lance, I have to say that I'm a little bummed about the rain in this forecast because the weather's finally gotten good, but now the rain is putting a little damper on things.
Yeah, I don't know. I personally am enjoying the rain, especially since I'm not going to have to go to the spring game this weekend.
Of course you are. And also, I don't know if you heard, Lance, but the world's largest taco has been found. It has been found in Missouri.
Tacos? It was found. Was it made?
Yeah, made, found, same thing. So maybe that's a potential road trip we have to make. Go try this taco, right?
Yeah.
Maybe have something we have to do.
We're taking your car though.
We can take my car. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
So anyway, over the weekend too, I will be here at spring game. Will you be?
I can't. I don't have tickets. It's a bummer.
Oh,
I know. But
what can you do? Well, that's all we have for today's show on Channel 8 News. And remember that you can like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at Channel 8 KSU.
Make sure to tune in next week for an update from the spring football game, plans to renovate the north end of Bill Snyder Family Stadium, and more.
From the Channel 8 family to you, thanks for watching Channel 8 News.